Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca, back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the Stage 2 National League Showdown and how to get this done, how to get that XP, how to get those 5 vouchers to hand in for those 20 fans and any of the National League team affinities. Also, guys, if you've been enjoying this content, please hit the subscribe button so you know whenever I upload other tips and strategy videos, especially for these showdowns or any of my rankings that have to do with the team affinities and other content that I have on my channel. Alright, let's get into it, guys. So on this run, I had some pretty decent missions to do. That's why the score is 12-15. They were some of the easier missions I've had to do when doing these showdowns. I've done it about 6 or 7 times now, so I can try to get a wide variety of mini missions as well as who the showdown bosses can be at the first showdown, the second showdown, and the final showdown. And there'll be a comprehensive list in the description below. If there is a mission that you got that is not in the description below, please leave it in the comments so that I know to add it to the description for others that are looking for these videos, because my goal for all of these showdown and all of my tips and strategy videos is to make sure that you guys can easily accomplish these things. That's why I do this, because I want to make sure that you guys are having an easier time and there's somebody that's actually putting out good information for you, not just telling you to say, hey, hit that options button and just skip to the final end because everyone can go 0 and 15. We all know that's not the truth. Also, guys, just a quick disclaimer here. All of the missions are on veteran, so I'm not going to mention the difficulty for each mission, showdown, anything like that. The whole showdown itself is on veteran. Alright, so for the first mission I had, get it right against Kyle. So you have to go up against future star Kyle Wright and the Braves. The goal of this mission is to hit 1 home run and don't give up a home run in the first 3 innings. For this mission, being that it's only worth 1 final showdown run, I actually hit, because it starts at the top of the order against the pitch, and if I don't hit a home run, I just leave out of it. I don't want to waste the time for 1 showdown run to pitch. However, I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to play those 3 innings. You do get, obviously, XP for playing back and forth. However, I just don't think it's worth it, especially because Kyle Wright, in my personal opinion, isn't the easiest guy to hit a home run off of if he doesn't leave something up in the zone. I just would bat the first 3 or 4 or 5 guys, how many you can get up in the first inning, try to hit that home run. You don't get a home run, I would just exit out. But it's really up to you guys, so I'll leave this mission as optional for you guys doing it. The next mission that I had on this run was beat the Phillies. Entering the bottom of the 8th of a 2-2 tie against the Phillies, come away with the win. So you start at bat in the bottom of the 8th. You're facing Victor Arano from the Philadelphia Phillies. He's only I believe, a low silver pitcher, and he's a right-handed pitcher. So if you have some guys that are pretty good platoon-wise against right-handed pitching, I would throw them in your lineup before this mission to make it a little bit easier. As well as you are coming up with your 7th hitter. So if you want to make it that you have your best hitters when you come up, so you only have to bat in the 8th, I would maybe move your best hitters in that 7, 8, 9 spot, throw the pitcher wherever you want. I'd warm up your guy in the bullpen and just bring him in if you got to pinch hit for the pitcher anyway. Pretty much just score a run, come in, pitch with whoever your closer is, and you'll win the mission. Pretty easy, cut and dry. Highly recommend doing this one. It's short and sweet. Next up, we have Light the Fire against Pryor. So this is go up against rookie Mark Pryor. You got to score 2 runs on top of the first. What they don't mention in the description here is you start with a runner on second and third base. So you start out with your 3rd hitter, and you just pretty much have to hit 2 sacrifice flies, or even like a chopper might score a run from third, depending how fast your first and second runners are. So if you want to stack your lineup a little bit to put faster guys in your first and second batter positions, it might help out with this mission in case you roll over on one or just hit a deep fly ball. That way you're getting those, even just sack flies can actually win this mission. Because you have to score 2 runs, you already got guys in scoring position. So for the first showdown this time around was against the All-Star Dan Plesac. Just like in the American video, the first showdown is the exact same. You get a runner on second base. You're down 2-0, so you got to score 3 runs with a runner in scoring position at the top of your lineup. The runner on second base is your 8th hitter. So if you want to put a speed search your 8th hitter, you could, to maybe make it a little bit easier to score that run early on. Some other options that you could see when you're doing this first showdown is you could also see Jason Isringhausen, Adam Ottavino, Alex Reyes, and Mark Pryor. All of these cards in this showdown are their special cards, as in there's no live series cards. It's all like, for example, the Alex Reyes is the Future Stars card, and the Mark Pryor card is his rookie card, essentially. So after you complete this first showdown, which I have faith that all of you guys will be able to do, the next mission I had was Giant Comeback. So trailing the Giants 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th, make the comeback and win. So you come into the game, in the bottom of the 8th, you have prospects at Don on the mound. He throws massive heat, has outlier. He throws the ball 100, 102, but he has a harder slider and changeup, so you don't have to worry about change of speed too much, and he does like to kind of pound the fastball on veterans, so kind of just look out for that. You have a man on second base, and it's your 7th hitter again, so if you want to put a better hitters in the 7th spot, I would do that. Highly recommend this mission. Adon's not too hard to hit if you time up his pitches well. His fastball definitely is just it's very hard, but it's straight, so it doesn't have a lot of movement. And I think his fastball is pretty easy to read out of his hand. This is a win the game mission, so for whatever reason, it has to go into extra innings. You don't get capped at the 9th inning to finish this off. So it's one of those missions that I would definitely do it, or at least try it for 2 final showdown runs. If it's for 1 showdown run in the second set of 3, I would maybe put it as optional for you guys. I think it's an easier mission because I don't have too much of a problem hitting a Dom, but he does pound a very, very hard fastball. Moving on, the next mission was Medina is an Adonis. Essentially, you have to face the future stars Adonis Medina, whose first pitch is a sinker ball, so he's kind of a sinker baller. And the Phillies to score 3 runs in the first 2 innings without allowing 2 runs. So this mission sounds ridiculous, right, guys? Well, the kicker here is they let you have your cleanup hitter, as in the 4th hitter in your lineup, and the bases loaded. So coming to the game, just make sure you wait for a good pitch against Medina and put one at least into the air. You'll score at least a run to start. And pretty much, I think, to have to score 3 runs with the bases loaded, you could do it in one swing. You might not do it in one swing. However, just make sure you put some speedsters at the beginning of your lineup and make sure your 4 hitter, 4, 5, 6 guys are power hitters. So a homer wins it, pretty much cut and dry. Very easy mission in my opinion. I don't think Medina is one of the better future stars when it comes to pitching, and he's pretty easy to hit off of. So you guys should be able to do this one pretty easily. Next up, we have send Brown to colder weather. You have to outduel the future star Zach Brown by tallying 3 hits, 1 run, and striking out 3 batters at the same time. Do not allow a run and do not strike out 3 times in the first 3 innings. The description pretty much tells you exactly what the mission is. You have to get 3 strikeouts, 3 hits, and a run. But you're playing in Milwaukee, and for some reason they make you the home team? I don't know why you're the home team if you're playing in Milwaukee. However, I would skip this mission even for 2 runs, even if it's the last mission where you get a gold play and a gold perk. I just don't think it's worth the time, because normally it's going to take you at least 2 innings unless you get really lucky striking out the guys. So maybe you want to pitch and see if you can strike out 3 guys in the first inning and go from there. However, I would just honestly skip the mission, even though Zach Brown's not too hard to hit. So after this mission, you get into the second showdown. In a second showdown this time around, I had the All-Star John Schmaltz card. And essentially, it's just like the American League second showdown. You have a man on second base. You're losing 2-0. You have 15 outs to work with to score 3 runs. Pretty easy second showdown. This one gives you the same rewards, the show pack, 3,000 XP and 750 stubs. Some other options you could see besides John Schmaltz in this spot is the Greg Maddux, as well as the prospects Mitch Keller. Personally, out of all 3 of them, I like hitting the most against the Greg Maddux. He doesn't throw the ball very hard, and on veteran, he kind of just throws 88-mile-per-hour fastballs right down the middle, which is like batting practice. However, the John Schmaltz and Mitch Keller really aren't that hard to hit, too. There's also a chance in the earlier missions, before you get to this showdown, that you get to face John Schmaltz and Mitch Keller in the more baby or minor missions before you actually face the showdown. So you'll actually maybe get to see them before you got to face them in the showdown that you must win. So after you guys knock out this second showdown, we move on to this third set of mini missions. And the first one is take the house from Jason. So in this mission, you are starting out against the Cardinals down 5-3 in the 8th inning, and you have to make a comeback by scoring 3 runs and not allowing a run. You come into this mission, and I just don't think Isringhausen is very hard to hit. I think this mission's optional. I do it every time just because I don't have a hard problem hitting him. The Cardinals' defense is pretty decent. However, if you have some power hitting lefties in your lineup, it seems like Isringhausen will give up a lot of dingers. I recommend at least trying this mission and going in and trying to score some runs at the very beginning of the mission, because all you got to do is score the 3 runs. So you can go in there and at least try to bat. You don't have to pitch if you score the 3 runs or anything like that. It's not a win-the-game mission. You have till the end of the 9th, so 6 outs to score 3 runs. So you can just pop in there, try to hit when you go into the mission. Test that out as optional. If you don't get the 3 runs your first at bat, just leave out of the game. Don't waste your time pitching and going back and forth. After you complete this mission, you move on to the next mission, and in this run I had the Marlins comeback. Trailing the Marlins 2-0 in the bottom of the 7th, make the comeback against their dominant bullpen. So this is a win-the-game mission, so you have to pitch all the way through the rest of the game. So you have to get essentially 3 runs or maybe more if the Marlins score some runs. Their lineup isn't as bad as you would think it is, because they do have like the Gary Sheffield card, 99 overall, as well as some of their prospects and future stars cards that are halfway decent players. Plus they have the Juan Pierre from Battle Royale rewards. So when you come into this game, you're facing Ryan Stanek. He's a very hard thrower, but he just throws very hard fastballs. He's not too hard to hit. If you do make contact with his fastball and square it up, it seems to go over the fence or into the gaps, which is pretty nice. So you can score some of the runs and then just bring in your closer or pitch with your starter 1 inning, then bring in your closer and just kind of knock out this mission. If it's in this spot for a diamond batter, a diamond perk, I would 100% recommend doing it, because the National League doesn't have as many silver and gold players that are like big-time power hitters or big-time bats. So it's pretty important, I think, to get the diamond batters, especially if you're not a great hitter in the game. So I would definitely recommend doing this mission, even if it takes a little bit longer. Same with the Take the House from Jason mission. These last 2 missions for these diamond batters, I would 100% at least attempt them, just because the National League, unless you have a really good draft, they don't have, like I said, too many gold and silver guys that really crush the ball. So once you complete this mission, you move on to the next mission, which is Crush the Nats. So going up against prospect Will Crow, and the Nationals score 2 runs while striking out 1 and not allowing a home run in the first inning. So this mission is actually an exact mirror mission to the Shohei Ohtani mission in the American League. So you have a man on second and third base in scoring position already, and you have to score 2 runs in the top of the first against the Nationals in Will Crown, who's an 80 overall gold card. Once you score those 2 runs, I would recommend just bunting or whatever to do as quickly as possible to get the remaining outs in the inning. Then you got to come in with your starter, and you got to get at least 1 strikeout without letting up a home run. So you can let up as many runs as you want. So what I would do is try to strike out guys, maybe pitch around Juan Soto if you don't get the strikeout like right away, because once you get the strikeout, you complete the mission. So if you don't strike out the first 2 batters and you got to face Juan Soto third, I would kind of maybe pitch around him a little bit, because it is the face of the franchise, Juan Soto, and he does have a lot of power, and more than likely your starting pitcher is going to be right-handed. And last thing you want to do is give up a home run, because it's just pointless. So I would even just be careful pitching around. I think the 4th or 5th batter you face Trey Turner, who doesn't have too much power. So I would either walk Soto or just pitch a bunch of changeups and a bunch of stuff not in the strike zone, see if he swings at it. But this mission's pretty easy, especially because they give you the runners in scoring position already. Just come in, case somebody, bada boom, bada bing, you completed it. 2 final showdown runs, a diamond batter. So once you've completed these last 3 mini missions, you'll make it to the final showdown. So in the final showdown, it'll be whatever your runs are totaled from all of the mini missions that you have done. So in this case, I have 12 runs to 15, so I'm down 3 runs, so I got to score 4 runs against the final showdown boss with 20 outs. My advice in all of these final showdowns is be very patient. It's going to be one of the future star cards, and they're all sinker ballers. In this case, it's Gratterall from the Los Angeles Dodgers. He throws a ridiculous sinker that hits 100 miles an hour, as well as he has outlier, so his fastball can hit 102, 103, and he has pretty nasty movement. And all of these pitchers seem to try to keep their sinkers low, so you want to kind of wait till they float a pitch up high. Just be patient. I understand it's on veterans, so you're like, oh my god, I can just boom, 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 just hit the ball. But it can get you in some trouble with their confidence, so I would recommend just taking a few pitches, especially early on, unless something's up in the zone. But I really think you guys can knock this out. So if you don't face Gratterall here, the other 2 pitchers that I have faced so far in the final showdown, doing this 6 or 7 times, is Zach Brown, the future star from the Milwaukee Brewers, and Adonis Medina from the Philadelphia Phillies. Although those are the only 3 pitchers I've had so far, I would assume that you could also get the left-handed Nick Lodolo from the Cincinnati Reds Team Affinity Future Star card. For the final showdown, you can kind of tell at the beginning who you're going to face based on what the team is. As you can see, my symbol for the H symbol right there, and then you see the LA Dodgers symbol. Whatever symbol that is will tell you what team the final pitcher plays on. You can't go look at it at the beginning, but like, for instance, Gratterall plays on the Dodgers symbol's there. If you see a Brewer symbol, it'll be Brown. If you see a Phillies symbol, it'll be Medina. If you see a red symbol, it would be Lodolo. Something I also want to mention for this National League, when you're doing these mini missions here, is it seems that they have went back or had at least copied the traditional order of the other divisional showdowns, as in the 1 final showdown run, 1 final showdown run, 2 final showdown runs in the first set, unlike the American League that was 1-1-1. And then for the second set is back to the 1-2-2 instead of the 2-2-2 that was in the American League. For the final set, it's still the 2-2-2 for all 3. Just so you guys know to be aware of that whenever you're thinking about, should I do this mission? I only mention this because it's something to just keep in mind for doing these missions, because like maybe even an optional mission that's only worth 1 run, it might not be worth your time to do the mission, especially early on, because the XP isn't high and the stubs aren't high, so why waste time if you're not getting extra bonuses out of it? Well, this is how you do the final showdown part. Now let's go and see what my squad looks like this time around for this run, and I'll give you guys a couple cards that I recommend for drafting, as well as in the description I will leave a detailed list of silver and golds that I recommend picking, as well as some of the lower diamonds. Obviously, if you see one of the 99 overall cards, I would recommend picking it. Buster Posey swings a little goofy. So I know some people have some trouble hitting with it. If you're one of those guys that have trouble hitting with Buster Posey, don't pick him. Like, I understand he's 99 overall, but he's not the greatest power hitter. Part of the reason he's 99 overall is because he's a great defensive catcher. But any of the other high diamonds, highly recommend. All right, let's take a quick look at the squad that I have for this run real quick. I have Dylan Carlson in left field, Corey Ray, center field. This Charlie Blackmon right here, if you see him as one of the lower diamond options, 100% take him. He absolutely mashes the ball, has great batting attributes, as you can see. This Willie Stargell does work for me as well. So does Joey Votto. These have been pretty much my 3 favorite players on these runs for the lower diamonds. Luckily, I have them on this run when I record this video, and it's pretty easy to show that these guys will probably be in the description on my diamond list. As few as there's 1 or 2 other guys that I got to mention in that description that I think you guys will enjoy hitting with. As for golds, the guy that I pick up every time is a 6'7" shortstop, O'Neill Cruz from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah, I'm a Pirates fan, so maybe it's a little biased, but actually does mash the ball. He's this big lefty, just when he hits it, he strokes it. It's pretty good. As well as for golds, Max Muncy, if you see him 100% of the time, his swing is just glitchy. He absolutely hits the ball hard for power. As for silvers, I would highly recommend Jock Pederson. 100% of the time you see him, most of the pitchers you're facing are going to be right-handed. As you can see, 90 power versus righties. 61 vision on veterans, more than enough with that 58 contact. Just when he gets into one against a righty, it's just, oof, it makes you feel something. As when drafting, as I recommended in the American League, make sure in your initial draft you pick at least 1 starting pitcher that is silver or gold, as well as a closer that is silver or gold in the opposite round, especially if you get stuck in a pitching round. Remember, if you pick the closer early, that you need to get a starter, because some of the missions do involve pitching, as you saw when I was going over them, as well as you will see in the description. Guys, it is also very important when you go into any of these showdowns that the position of the players do not matter at all. So just put your best 8 hitters in your lineup, in your positions. It doesn't matter if they're out of position, secondary position, none of that stuff matters. Put the guys you hit the best with and the guys that are going to get you runs. And then make sure when you're thinking about it that you do have one more guy on the bench that you can swing with, and always make sure that you pinch hit for your pitcher, because there's no point to have a guy like Zach Wheeler taking a couple cuts for you. Just doesn't make sense, right? It's a hitting mission. We don't need a pitcher. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope this Stage 2 National League Showdown Mission Breakdown and Tips video helps you guys complete this showdown every single time you do it to get those 5 National League Team Affinity Stage 2 vouchers to get you those 20 fans to unlock the Team Affinity cards. If you guys are enjoying the content, please hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up so I know that I'm doing a good job. as well as hit that notification bell so you guys know whenever I upload new content to the YouTube channel. If you guys are enjoying the content and you want to watch me live, I stream on twitch.tv/HopefulChewbacca Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. However, I do not have a set schedule. So if you want to know when I go live those days, please follow me on Twitter at Hopeful1137. I will tweet out when I'm about to go live, and that way you guys can pop into the channel and we can have a conversation about MLB The Show or anything else that you guys got going on within the game. Also, if you guys want to, you can add me on PlayStation Network. My gamer tag is Hopeful1137. You can add me on there. We can play friendlies. You can ask me any questions you have about the videos or anything that you guys want to ask me that involves MLB The Show 20 or MLB baseball, minor league baseball, college baseball, or any other sport. If you just want to have a conversation, you can always message me on PlayStation Network or leave even in the comments for the video, as well as you can come into the Twitch channel and we can have a good conversation about that stuff as well. Guys, I really appreciate all of your support so far, and I really hope that you guys have a great day and be safe.